Horses don't read their own passports, see their 80% blood and decide they're going to gallop. The market for event horses is very good at the moment. I think we're very lucky in Ireland that we have a brood mare band that hold a lot of thoroughbred. So, and blood type mares, cruising mares and so on. And I think those mares cross to the foreign sire is really the ideal event horse. What you know, 90% of the world's top riders and also the marketplace in general, where they're amateurs, they really like that type of horse. So I think for breeders, important to try and hold on to your blood brood mare. If she's getting older, try and breed her with something that'll, you know, something Irish or something blood, that you can produce a mare to again cross with these foreign sires to produce what we can ideally handle. So I think the sport is changing. The dressage and the jumping have become a lot more influential, which means you're going to need a horse with good movement and a good jumper, balance, trainability. But again, luckily here we have that brood mare band that's you know, sort of a bit of toughness, bloodness about them, and then with the foreign sire crossed on. So I think that cross is going to really be good for the sport at all levels going forward for the next 10-15 years. Very important, the blood mares, blood types, but not necessarily to use thoroughbred, because I think we breed a lot of movement and jump out by doing that. Blood to me means a horse that really wants to go. He can have as much blood on paper as he likes. If he doesn't want to operate, he's not going to. I think that's a very important one. People get a lot of confusion about this. Horses don't read their own passports, see their 80% blood and decide they're going to gallop. The horse wants to gallop. In a perfect world, you have a blood horse that wants to go, backed up with a blood pedigree. That's not always there, and a lot of the horses that we've sold that have been very successful, yes, of course they have thoroughbred, but maybe more like 50% than these 80s and 90s that you hear quoted. And I think it's so important that people understand that it's not altogether to do with what's on the horse's passport. You have to treat the horse as an individual. From a veterinary point of view, a clean set of x-rays is really quite essential, and as a breeder you can assess that at any time sort of 2 years old onwards. And I think it's very, very important that people understand that, and then we're able to purchase the horses at a true market value. So obviously some of the horses we buy don't have perfect x-rays or may have a small if or but on those, but what we do is when we're trotting the horses up, which is when the people initially see the horse, we would make them aware of that. Now sometimes that means that the purchaser doesn't want to look at the horse and we put them away, but at least that way when it comes to a veterinary exam and the time which really counts, it's when you're about to sell the horse, they know about it, and usually then it's plain sailing.